October, what does that mean? Geico-ween, of course. Don't be spooked by high rates on car insurance. Geico's brewing up spellbinding savings. They're crafting for you. Go to geico.com. It's a good company. I can't say that with a straight face. I can't.
Love that read.
I don't. I love the
spooky
company.
season.
So Emmanuel Sanders, he had 12 catches.
Yeah.
The 11th year, total pro. And he was in Denver, and then he fit right into the 49ers and that Super Bowl team. Then he goes to, he's played with Big Ben, Peyton Manning, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Drew Brees. You could do worse. You could do worse. And Emmanuel's joining us, two-time Pro Bowler. By the way, he was also drafted by the Steelers. No team in the NFL in my life, and I'm in my mid-50s, has drafted wide receivers better than the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know what it is, man, but everybody. They just got that Claypool kid. Now they got another kid that can play. So let me ask you this. You've been in this league for over a decade. 12 catches on Monday. When you have that kind of output, when are you not sore? Like, can you play Thursday and feel ready to go?
I mean, if I had to get my body ready to go Thursday, I definitely can go. I think the most important thing is after a game, no matter if you have 12 catches or not, even though the more catches and the more hits you take, the worse and worse your body feels. I think the most important thing is making sure that you wake up the next day and go and get a workout in. And flush the lactic acid out of your body, and so that's what I try to do.
By the way, there's a dog in the background. Do you want to make sure the dog's okay? It's not in danger or anything, is it?
Yeah. Could you give me a second?
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, sorry.
It's okay, Emmanuel. Go ahead, do this. It's okay. Listen, we do this on our show. I got 2 dogs, so I'm totally okay with the dog thing. All right, there's Emmanuel Sanders coming back.
There we go.
I got 2 dogs. My dogs bark all the time. Yeah, we've done this more than one. You're not the first athlete that's had dogs that bark. So when you play, it's really interesting because you play with Peyton, you play with Ben, you play with Breeze. These are all Hall of Fame guys. Let's talk about the line of scrimmage. Did one of them audible more? Does one of them rely more on gut instinct? Like, give me the differences, Ben to Peyton and Drew.
I think Peyton was definitely the audible guy. We went an up-tempo type offense, so Peyton was always checking in and out of things. I think Ben playing with him, it was fun as well. He's very sneaky with his signs. Like, you're not gonna know what he's doing, so you got to keep your eyes on him. They had a lot of different ways to change up the play in which like teams didn't know, and then playing with Drew, it's just executing at a high level, right? You take a guy who, after I scored a touchdown, he walks up to me and he's teaching me the route. I remember the game versus the Lions. I ended up catching like a 13-yard dig, and I thought he was gonna walk up and be like, "Good catch," and he goes, "Hey, look, so next time, like, get a little bit deeper on that, so then I can hit you on the window." So he always wants to execute at a high level, but all 3 of them, you know why they win, because every single day they come to work, and from a mental standpoint, they got the game down pat.
Sean Payton as a coach, people talk about him as a play designer. He's obviously very special. What is Mike Tomlin was a defensive coach, but Sean Payton is known for offense. Is he more demanding? Is it more academic? Is it harder? Like, what's Sean Payton, the difference between him and, say, a Tomlin? What's being demanded of you?
Yeah, I think no matter what coach you have, I think that they look at how they can do better on that side of the ball better. And I've had defensive coordinators who, they come in and the offense might not be playing well, and they'll be like, the offense is doing okay, but defensively we got to do this. And so, Sean Payton will come in, and if the game is close or something happened, he's always going to point to the receivers and be like, the receivers got to do this, or the quarterback has to do that. And so, he's an offensive-minded guy, so obviously he's looking at it from that perspective. But, yeah, majority of head coaches, they rarely get on the opposite side of the ball. They always try to come at the side of the ball that they familiar with coaching those are the players that get attacked. So, you know, at the end of the day, I've been enjoying just being around Sean Payton, just his personality, man. He's definitely a player's coach. He's funny. And one thing about him is he loves to put up points. And I love his pregame speeches, how he comes in and just breaks down how we can put up, 40, 50 points on the team. And that's always our goal going into games.
You left the Steelers and you went to Denver and you won a Super Bowl. And then you went to San Francisco and you got to a Super Bowl. And you could have gone to other places and you went to New Orleans. So clearly, Emmanuel, when you have a choice, you look at the coach and you look at the situation. I said this morning, I think Le'Veon Bell would still be a top 5 running back. I think he should not have gone to the Jets. There's instability. They had a crappy offensive line. And I look at you and I want you to tell me, because you keep ending up in like slightly better places. And tell me what you go through. Your agent calls you and he says, okay, Emmanuel, I got 3 teams that like you. What do you think about? Because you've made a lot of good choices in your career on where to go.
Yeah, ultimately, I think that when you speak about longevity in this league, at some point you got to go to organizations who win. Winning keeps you relevant in this league. But the moment that you start losing, and especially you take a guy like Le'Veon Bell with the salary cap that he has, teams are ready to let you go. And that's just how this league goes. And so, I've always been very tuned in on where I go. I remember I left Steelers and I had an opportunity to go to a couple of teams who were offering more money. I was like, I don't know, because I play a position where I can make a difference, but I can't make a huge difference like the quarterback position. So you always got to look at that. And so I look at it like, if I go there, and even though I might produce or I might not produce because it's based off the offensive coordinator and the offense, I could be in the league another 2 years. But if I go to Denver and play with Peyton Manning, and I know what they're going to do, even when Peyton Manning retires, I'm going to have the yards to go to a different team. And what team could that be? And so now I'm out here with New Orleans, and they're able to showcase my talents because I'm with Sean Payton, and people are seeing my talents. And so I feel like if I stay healthy and I be who I am in this offense, it'll lead to something other that's great. And so I've always been mindful of that. And, it's a blessing as well to be able to do that because, I started my career off with the Pittsburgh Steelers with Ben Roethlisberger, then went to play with Peyton Manning, and now playing with Drew Brees. And I had the privilege of playing with Jimmy Garoppolo as well.
Yeah. By the way, Jimmy struggled last week. He's got a bad foot, and he wasn't pushing off on it, and it was pretty bad. It was just a bad Sunday for him. Obviously, Peyton, Ben, and Brees, to this point in their careers, are at a different classification than Jimmy Garoppolo. He gets a lot of crap and a lot of heat. What does Jimmy Garoppolo, in your opinion, do really well that you liked, and what does he need to work on?
I mean, Jimmy stands in the pocket. Man, he stands in the pocket. And he's gonna deliver the football. I love the way that he comes to work every single day. I mean, we're talking about a guy who, I don't know why they so hard on him because, I mean, last year was literally his first year starting, and he took us all the way to the Super Bowl. And they could say, yeah, we had a run game, but it was a couple games where Jimmy just went crazy.
Yeah,
he managed the game. He played well, and so. It's crazy how one play could determine, if you still like somebody or not. And, if Jimmy goes and we wins that Super Bowl, they can't really say anything about Jimmy G anymore. But the fact that, he's lost a Super Bowl, now they're gonna continue to come from because, I don't get it because, Jimmy G, if you look at his win percentage is ridiculous, and so he's coming off a bad game, and who hasn't come off a bad game? Michael Jordan has had bad games. LeBron James has had bad games. At the end of the day, it's a bad game. But what is it? I mean, another opportunity is coming up this Sunday. And if he goes out and balls, everybody's going to be like, oh, Jimmy G. Yeah, Jimmy G. So it's crazy how, it sways like this throughout the season. But at the end of the day, he has just continuously being him because I got a lot of respect for him in his game and the San Francisco 49ers organization.
Emmanuel Sanders joining us, over a decade in the NFL, a Super Bowl champ, 2-time Pro Bowler, and a really savvy veteran who does his business well as well. He knows where to go and what quarterbacks to end up in with. And I look at COVID, and I looked at the NBA bubble, and it was tough on players. And this year you didn't have an OTA, and you didn't have preseason. and a lot of guys are getting dinged up. I just want you to tell the audience, how has COVID affected you mentally, physically? Because you had 12 catches Monday. You're doing great with it. But I'm sure not every teammate is doing great with it. Has it been has this been the most difficult September, early October of your career?
Yeah, it definitely has. I mean, coming to a new city, not having a house, spending almost 2 months in a hotel, not seeing your family, trying to find a house out here, just everything in general, right? Just trying to get situated, and then not knowing if it's safe or not, right? Like it's a risk every day that I go out and bringing this to my family and to the team, and so but I look at the situation and I say like I'm blessed. It's a lot of people who are going through way worse situations than me. Someone once said, I once thought I had it bad because I had no shoes until I saw a man who had no feet, right? And so that's my perspective in this whole COVID is just make it through and don't do any complaining and and coming to New Orleans and then have to learn, the offense with Sean Payton and Drew. That was definitely hard too. But now I think like everything is starting to settle in, even with my family here and the house that we have. And so I think that's the reason why I'm playing some of my best ball, because I kind of got it all out the way, and I feel like I handled it in a positive manner instead of looking at the negatives of it.
Well, you're a pro. You're a total pro. And any team be lucky to have you. You're going to get some Hall of Fame votes, and you got a lot of football left, by the way. You keep making 12 catches, you're gonna find yourself in this league for a long time. Emmanuel, I love having you on the show before and now. Thank you again.
All right, appreciate you, Colin.
All right, Emmanuel Sanders, great NFL player. And again, I love bringing on guys who've been around the league. Danny Green's going to be on, guys, pro. He goes to New Orleans. He told me off there, couldn't find a house for 2 months. He got COVID going on. It's one of the most complicated offenses. He got no preseason. You got no OTAs. And he's just, here we go. He just makes it work. And love having him on. Joy with the news.
No.